Hey everyone, welcome back to another class. In today's class, we are going to study about the Ascaris lumbricoid. Do you know why organism Ascarisis has the species name lumbricoid? It is because there was an earthworm whose name was lumbricus, and when you see Ascarisis lumbricoid, it looks like a earthworm. That's why we call it as Ascarisis lumbricoid. If we'll talk about the classification, it is from phylum Nematoda and Ascahelminthes. We have studied this Ascahelminthes phylum. It is the only phylum which is pseudocoelomate. Okay, now this is super important with respect to the neet. Okay, super important with respect to the neet. Class is Phasmidia. Now, it is the most common enteric gut parasite. When I say enteric gut, it is the most common enteric parasite. That means gut. Do you remember in previous class we studied about the enteric cells? तो enteric cells आपके कहाँ पर होते हैं? Intestine में होते हैं. तो we call it as gut parasite. So most common enteric gut parasite is your Ascaris lumbricoid. What is the common name? Common name is common roundworm. Is it monogenetic or digenetic? Monogenetic. Primary host or secondary host? We do have. Do we have secondary host over here? No, we do not have. Why? Because it is monogenetic. So obviously primary host को होना ही होना है, otherwise there won't be any sexual reproduction, and if there is no sexual reproduction there won't be more amount of Ascaris lumbricoid in the host. Correct? So definitive host is your human. It is dimorphic. Now what is the meaning of dimorphic, class? Have you heard about sexual dimorphism? Have you heard about it? It is nothing but the sexes are separated. Sexes are separated. When I say it is separated, that means female and male both are separated. They are not present in the single organism. They are not present in the single organism. Now write it in the comment box and let me know, am I talking about unisexual or bisexual? What they are going to be. Then coelom is your pseudocoelomate. What is pseudocoelomate? Pseudocoelomate is the fluid-filled cavity is present, but it is not lined all over by the mesoderm. Either it is lined partially or the patches of mesoderm will be present over there, right? Now target site is your small intestine, that too jejunum of the human. Mode of infection is again through contaminated food and water. क्या बोला था मैंने? If the target site is intestine, so it is always going to be through the contaminated food and water. Infective stage क्या है, class? Infective stage is embryonated egg with second stage rabidiform larva. What is the meaning of embryonated egg? आपने egg तो सुना होगा, लेकिन what is embryonated egg? So this is your egg. Inside the egg, what is present? Your embryo is present. Your embryo is present. Baby is present. See class, sperm and egg fertilize to form zygote. Now this zygote undergoes development to produce embryo. ठीक है, तो इसको हम embryo बोलते हैं. Further development जो zygote की होती है, we call it as embryo. So inside the egg development takes place, और वो development किस में हो रही है? Embryo में हो रही है. तो इसके लिए हम क्या बोलते हैं? Embryonated egg. It is called as embryonated egg. कौन सा stage is infective? It is the second stage rabidiform larva. It is basically the free living larva in the soil. Now, this structure is important, class. You're supposed to draw in your notebook. This is the male one. Okay, it's written. This is the male one and this is for the female one. When you will see, let's compare it. They both have mouth. They both have mouth. They both have excretory pore. We'll discuss what are all these things. I have drawn the table. Let me first show you the picture, okay? Lateral line, class. We have already discussed what is dorsal, then ventral, and lateral. Dorsal is nothing but पीछे, बैक साइड को हम डोर्सल बोलते हैं. वेंट्रल इज नथिंग बट योर फ्रंट साइड, वी कॉल इट एज वेंट्रल. एंड लेटरल इज नथिंग बट साइड वाइज जो साइड होती है उसको हम लेटरल बोलते हैं. सो दिस इज साइड वाइज लाइन. साइड में जो लाइन प्रेजेंट है वी कॉल इट एज लेटरल लाइन, राइट? दोनों में होती है. देन फीमेल about 1/3 की पोजीशन पर, 1/3 की पोजीशन पर it has female genital aperture. What is genital aperture? Means opening. Genital is nothing but which helps in the copulation, which helps in the copulation. Now by this, what is copulation? Copulation is nothing but another name you can give for copulation is mating, or you can say union of not union, sexual union of, okay, sexual union of two individual, we call it as copulation. We call it as copulation. So इस पूरे को अगर मुझे एक word में बोलना है तो I'll be calling it as a copulation, right? Now then separate anus is present in female which is absent in male, and then tail, if you'll see, it is a straight tail, but if you'll see in male it is a curved tail present over here. Okay, it is a curved tail present over here. Now, cloacal aperture is present in male, it is absent in female. Aperture, again, it is an opening, and cloacal is nothing but it is a chamber. It is a chamber where your sperms will be stored, or the excretory things will be stored, right? So that is a chamber for the collection of sperm or the excretory thing. Now, it has cloacal chamber, say you will have two needle-like structure coming out. From cloacal aperture, you have two needle-like structure coming out. We call it as penile setae. This penile setae will help in copulation. How? See here, this is the vulva of a female. This is the vulva of female. Now, these penile setae is going to be inserted, not inserted actually, it is going to open the vulva. See, vulva is not open, okay? So it is going to open the vulva of the female and introduce sperm inside. Repeating myself again. So if this is vulva which is closed, so penile setae is going to open this vulva. It is going to open this vulva and inject sperm inside the female body. It is going to insert sperm inside the female body. Now let's read this, and I want all of you to make this table. Size of the male ascariasis is small as compared to the female. Body both same, elongated and cylindrical. Elongated and cylindrical. Mouth where it was present, anterior end, and it is surrounded by 3 chitinous lips. What is chitin? Chitin is the carbohydrate, polysaccharide. It is carbohydrate, right? Now you can see here, this is your first lip, second lip, third lip. So you have 3 chitinous lip in both female and male. It will be present. Gonad not given in your textbook. If you don't want to write, don't write it. It has single testes and it has 1 pair of ovary. Posterior end, last posterior end, posterior matlab end part, right? It is curved and it is straight in female. Excretory pore matlab क्या होता है? Hole होता है. Okay, small aperture लिखा है ना, कहाँ पे present है? Close to the mouth. कहाँ पे? Mid ventrally. Ventral मैंने क्या बताया था? Front बताया और back बताया? It was front. Front के middle में आपका what is present? Excretory pore is present for both male and female. Then cloacal aperture present posterior in male and female में absent होता है. Penile spicule posterior present होता है, female में तो absent ही होता है. Now this is important. Equal classes structure is super important. Same structure we are going to see in Wuchereria bancrofti. Only the difference is that यहाँ पे equal है penile setae, वहाँ पे unequal penile setae होगा. Okay, पेयर होता है, chitinous होता है, project through cloacal aperture. And क्या करता है? What is the function of it? Serves as the transfer of the sperm during copulation. Genital pore present in male or absent? It is absent in male. Once again, okay, vulva na, vulva. Excretory pore is present in male and genital pore or vulva is absent in male. It is present in female. कहाँ पे? Mid ventrally. इसके mid ventral में क्या present होता है? Let me show you. यहाँ पे लिखा था कहीं पे ना, हाँ ये रहा. Okay, excretory pore कहाँ पे present है? Mid ventral में present है, and female के mid ventral में excretory pore के साथ साथ क्या present है? Vulva भी present है. कहाँ पे? 1/3 पे. Right? Now separate anus is present in the male ascariasis or absent? It is absent. Where it is present in female. Now, before moving ahead with the life cycle of ascariasis, let us understand about the structure of the egg, and then we'll go with the life cycle. Now, this is egg of the ascariasis lumbricoid. We call it as mammillated egg. Now, write it in your textbook that mammillated is nothing but rough surface egg. Rough surface egg. So you can see here, आपने egg देखा होगा, it is going to be like this. But if you see this egg, it has a wave-like appearance. This wave-like appearance gives the rough structure. This wave-like appearance gives the rough structure. We call it as ripple surface, right? Now below this ripple surface, the first layer which we have is the protein coat. Second layer which we have, this black color one, we call it as chitinous shell. And third layer, this purple color which you can see, is the lipid layer. Now this is super important with respect to the MSET. You need to arrange the layer from outer to inner. So outer is your protein coat, then we have chitinous, and then innermost is your lipid layer. Inside you have a nucleus which has the genetic material, and then you have a cytoplasm, right? Now, let's understand the life cycle of Ascaris lumbricoid. Male and female worm copulate inside the small intestine of the human. So, male and female worm has entered inside the body and it is going to copulate in the small intestine. Male worm fertilized. Fertilized means sperm is going to enter in the egg. Not sperm is going to enter. That fertilization is nothing but the fusion of sperm and egg. So, fusion of sperm and egg will takes place. कहाँ पे? The male worm fertilizes the female through her vulva. Okay, itna kafi hai. This one is not required for you to write it. Sperm travel towards the uterus. No need to write this also. Write it. This one. Sperm fertilizes the egg. After fertilization, इतना लिखो बस. After fertilization, write this after fertilization on arrow. After fertilization, the female releases how many egg? 2 lakhs egg per day. Now these eggs which are produced, it can be fertilized. That means fusion of sperm and egg has occurred. Or it can be unfertilized. That means fusion of sperm and egg has not occurred. Right? What do we want? Fertilized one or unfertilized one? We want fertilized one, right? So only fertilized egg are capable of producing or developing the infective stage. See, अगर वो fertilized ही नहीं हुआ है तो obviously embryo बनेगा ही नहीं, zygote बनेगा ही नहीं, right? तो आपका infective stage कैसे बनेगा? So fertilization जरूरी है. Repeating myself again, male and female worm copulate कहाँ पे? In the small intestine of human. Sperm fertilizes the egg through vulva. Sperm कैसे enter करता है? Through penile setae. Sperm is going to fertilize egg. After fertilization, female releases 2 lakhs egg. It can be fertilized or it can be unfertilized. The fertilized egg is capable of producing the infective stage. Now, these eggs comes out along with the fecal matter. कहाँ पे? In moist soil. Now, here the development of the infective stage takes place, but कहाँ हो रहा है? Moist soil में हो रहा है, लेकिन inside the egg हो रहा है. Where it is happening? It is happening inside the egg. It is happening inside the egg. After development, what it produces? It produces first stage rabidiform larva. अब development हुई है ना, तो अब larva is going to produce. What is larva? Larva is a small baby. Okay, it undergoes first molting. What is molting? Molting is nothing but when organism grow in size, it shades skin. Okay, when organism grow in size, it has to shade skin. This process we call it as molting. So first molting कहाँ हो रही है हमारी? Soil में हो रही है. It undergoes first molting and become what? It becomes second stage rabidiform larva. Now this second stage rabidiform larva is the infective stage. यही पढ़ा था हमने. It is the infective stage. So this is going to enter into the human host through contaminated food and water. So through contaminated food and water, it is going to enter into the small intestine. In small intestine, the shell, the second layer which we discussed, the chitinous shell is going to get dissolved. Then once the shell is dissolved, let me show you. Once the shell is dissolved, this black color one is dissolved, what is happening? This infective stage is going to be released out, right? What is released out? Second stage rabidiform larva is released out. Now it undergoes extra-intestinal migration. That means apart from your alimentary canal. Where it goes? It enters into the liver through hepatic portal vein. Now class, I told you already that whenever there is an absorption occur from intestine, the first place where blood goes, it's your liver. कैसे जाता है class? अगर ये आपका intestine है, so your intestine is connected to the liver through a vein. वो vein कैसी होती है? Both the side it will be having capillaries. Both the side it will be having capillaries. This type of vein we call it as portal vein. This type of vein we call it as portal vein. और ये आपको कहाँ दिखती है? Usually organ से blood has to transfer to heart. But here one organ, that is your intestine, is transmitting blood to another organ, that is your liver, and then it goes to your heart. This type of circulation we call it as portal circulation. इसमें कौन सी vein use होती है? Portal vein use होती है. What are portal veins? Which has capillaries both the side. Okay, क्यों both the side है? क्योंकि उसकी absorption हो रही है ना. Absorption तो capillaries से ही होती है. So it has capillaries both the side. अब ये कहाँ को जा रही है? Liver को जा रही है. So this type of portal vein we call it as hepatic portal vein. It reaches to the liver. Now through liver it has to go to the heart. How it goes? How it goes? Through postcaval vein. Now, what is postcaval vein? Have you heard about post and pre? Precaval vein is nothing but your superior vena cava. That means it is going to bring blood from the upper part of the body. Then what is postcaval? It is nothing but it is going to bring blood from the lower part of the body. But which blood? It is going to bring deoxygenated blood, right? So postcaval vena cava is nothing but the inferior vena cava. Through inferior vena cava it reaches to the heart. Now through pulmonary artery, you must have studied the fourth chamber of heart, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. So from lungs, oxygenated blood is going to enter into right atrium through what? Through pulmonary vein, the only vein which carries deoxygenated blood, right? Of course, exception is there in your fetus level. We'll study that in next year. Now, from here it enters into left ventricle and goes to all the tissues through aorta. Deoxygenated blood from other part comes here through vena cava, superior and inferior vena cava, enter into right ventricle, and from right ventricle it goes to lungs through pulmonary artery. That's what I have written over here. Now heart से pulmonary artery से it goes to lungs. Lungs में क्या होता है? It gets settled down in alveoli. Lungs में हमारे क्या होते हैं? Alveoli होता है. Alveoli में second molting होगी, produces third larva. Alveoli में ही third molting होगी, which produces fourth larva. Now see here class, fourth larva क्या होगा? यहाँ पे आपका this is one lung and this is going to be your another lung. तो यहाँ पे आपका alveoli होगा. Alveoli से क्या connect होता है? Bronchi. बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं, but directly what is written in your textbook I am showing that only. ठीक है, bronchi होता है, फिर यहाँ पे आपका trachea होगा, right? Trachea होगा. So see the pathway class. Let me draw it over here with purple color. Purple color लेते हैं. So your fourth stage larva is present in the alveoli. It is going to enter into the bronchi. Bronchi से it is going to enter into the trachea. Trachea से it is going to enter into the larynx. Larynx से it is going to enter into your glottis. What is glottis? Glottis is an opening of your windpipe or opening of your larynx. So glottis से कहाँ जाएगा? Pharynx में जाएगा. Pharynx से it is going to jump into your esophagus. It is going to jump into your esophagus and enter into the stomach. Stomach से कहाँ जाएगा? It is going to enter into small intestine. Small intestine में it will undergo fourth molting and become the young one. This young one within 8 to 10 weeks it is going to attain the sexual maturity. It is going to attain the sexual maturity. Once attain the sexual maturity, again same process. Male and female copulate, produce the baby cells. Again infection occur in same way, right? Now that was all about your life cycle. Here you can see the same I have drawn in the flowchart manner. You can copy this as well. Now, pathogenicity, the disease caused by Ascaris lumbricoid, it causes ascariasis. The disease is asymptomatic. Again, Ascariasis put star mark. It is a neat question. It is again, if you have less worm in your body, what will happen? The person will be asymptomatic. You won't be able to understand whether you are suffering from the disease, suffering from ascariasis or not. But if you have more amount of worm, we call it as heavy infection. This causes severe abdominal pain. Now, why this abdominal pain and what does this causes? It is going to cause nutritional deficiency. See, ये worm है. Obviously, for its growth, it is going to take your nutrition. So, if it is taking your nutrition, that means there will be the deficiency of nutrition in your body. So, what does it cause? It causes stunted growth in children. छोटी height हो जाती है, that we call it as stunted growth in children. It also affects the growth hormones. It is not given in your textbook. textbook, you can exclude this. Profile axis, what are the preventive measures? It is same as what we have studied in the Entamoeba histolytica. Now nobody will write same as Entamoeba histolytica in your exam paper. Please study and write the profile axis for Ascarias lumbricoid. Now let's see the life cycle over here. See here. Adult male and female Ascaris lumbricoid, they are going to copulate with each other and उनके egg के बारे में हमने पढ़ा था, right? Now after copulation they are going to produce 2 lakhs egg. 2 lakhs egg में some will be fertilized, some will be unfertilized. कहाँ पे present है? ये सब egg के अंदर जो भी development हो रही है egg के अंदर हो रही है. Now development takes place in egg and development के बाद first stage of rapidity form larva produce होता है. अब first stage larva produce हो गया तब उसकी size बढ़ेगी तो molting करना पड़ेगा. Second stage is produced which is the infective stage. It is going to enter into the host cell. ठीक है, host cell में enter करते क्या होता है? इसका shell remove होता है. Shell remove करने के बाद क्या होता है? It reaches to the liver, okay, through hepatic portal vein, then heart through postcaval vein, then lungs through pulmonary artery, then it reaches to the alveoli. Second molting takes place to produce third stage larva. Third molting takes place to produce fourth stage larva. Then it goes to bronchi, trachea, larynx, glottis, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, and intestine. In intestine, fourth molting takes place. It produces the young one. Young one develops into the mature one. So this is the whole life cycle. Again, this is super important. You are supposed to draw in your notebook. So that's all we have in today's class about Ascaris lumbricoid. This is a short cycle, but this is super important with respect to the board exam. So please complete this diagram in your notebook.